it can be shown and authenticated in any of the following manner. The person saw the document executed or written. Nakita ba ng witness mo na sinulat yon? Nakita ba niya?
Your Honor, we can...
No, please answer my question.
No, Your Honor.
Oh, the next manner of authenticating by evidence of the genuineness of the signature or handwriting of the maker. The defense said ni walang original signature doon. Do you disagree with that?
We don't, Your Honor.
Okay, and the third, by other evidence showing its due execution and authenticity. Did you provide?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so simple lang, Mr. Presiding Officer, even yung mga kababayan natin na nakikinig na ngayon na ang dami ng alam sa procedure, will tell you na hindi acceptable yon. And with all due respect, katulad din nung kahapon na humingi ako ng payo sa inyo, again, I will not name names, we had a discussion in caucus na you cannot unsee what you see. You cannot unhear what you hear. So pinalabas yun. Wala akong problema na palabasin yun, pero do your job and present the proper witness and the proper documentation to do that. Do your job.
Naku, harapang konfrontasyon na ho ito mga kababayan. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano talagang pinagulong ho itong si Melvin Matibag dyan sa impeachment trial nitong si VP Sara dyan sa Senado. Sa mga hindi pa ho nakakaalam ha, dito sa ika-8 day ng impeachment nitong si VP Sara sa Senado, eh natu 200 million na ho ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Pero bago yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan sa magsusumali sa ating community. Yung boto nandiyan lang ho sa baba. Bakit kaya hindi na lang pamigay ang pera na yan? Araw-araw, merong 25 na Pilipino ang magiging milyonaryo. Pambihira, di ngayong mga panahon na to, 200 Pilipino na ang naging milyonaryo, di ba? Di, base sa ating nakikita, nakakait din na ho tayo ni isang buhay ng ordinaryong Pilipino. Wala hong nababago itong impeachment na to. Kaya tayo talagang hindi siyang ayon dyan sa impeachment na yan. Sa like at sa subscribe, masaya na ho tayo dyan at sa magsusumali sa ating community, yung join button, nandiyan lang ho sa baba. Wala ho tayong maraming pag-uusapan dito sa video na to. Re-recta ho kagad tayo. Dito sa pagtatanong nitong si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, dito kay NBI Director Melvin Matibag. Yay!
I'll show you one last graphic and then I'll ask you a couple of questions thereafter.
Matindi ho ito.
Can you show the graphic? All right. So this is from the Daily Tribune.
Bastos
Your Honor,
talaga.
please.
No question yet, Your Honor.
Yes,
Council finish with this question and then
Allergic ba kayo? Diyan sa public trust rating ni VP Sara na 57% habang tong si Marcos Jr. ang gusto magpa-impeach sa kanya, 34% lang. Allergic tong si itong si Luis. Kalmahan mo lang madam, kalmahan mo lang.
the lead prosecutor may make her objection.
All right. This is from the Daily Tribune. Okay, and this is the entitled public trust rating. I'll just focus on the green, not the red. No, but Vice President Sara Duterte, it says they're 57%, and this was conducted by the social weather station's SWS survey. Okay. Now, my question to you is this. You mentioned that you have an ongoing investigation. Do materials like this, insofar as how Filipino people view or trust VP Sara, have an effect in your investigation?
Objection,
Before the
Your Honor.
witness answers, lead prosecutors recognize for objection. What is the basis of the objection?
Your Honor, the defense is showing a picture of the president and the vice president with a certain rating at the bottom. This has no relevance at all, Your Honor.
Yan ho ang ini-impeach niyo. Anong walang relevance? Si Raulo ka ba bakulaw? Ang ini-impeach mo si VP Sara. Ngayon ipinakita yung tinatanong ang NBI kung may relevance ba yung trust rating niya diyan sa ginagawa nilang investigasyon diyan sa NBI. Walang relevance. Pambihira kayo. Talagang itong si Bakulaw ibang klase.
With respect to the subject matter of this impeachment trial,
I think he has.
we are objecting to the presentation of this picture, Your Honor.
I think it has. Just a short rejoinder, Your Honor.
Kindly allow the lead prosecutor. Are you done, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just a short rejoinder, Your Honor.
Attorney Binlones,
The
recognized.
witness mentioned the term betrayal of public trust. And we can run the TSN back. Your Honor, of course, we're allowed, this is cross-examination, we're allowed to present controverting evidence to that statement.
The chair will allow the witness to answer despite that there is no date when the survey was taken. Kindly answer if you know, Director Matibag.
Gladly, Mr. Presiding Officer. Alam niyo po, survey yan. And all of us know, or for the information of the public, a survey is just a snapshot of something. It doesn't necessarily follow na yung survey na yan is kumbaga nakataga na sa bato.
Hindi ganun yun. Ang survey ay snapshot kung bukas mataas siya, bukas makalawa mababa siya. Pero kung consistent, ibang usapan na yan, di ba? Mula nung pag-upo ni VP Sara hanggang ngayong mga panahon na to, number 1 si VP sa mga survey naglalaban.
Pangalawa po, may mandato po ang NBI. We cannot be swayed by public opinion o kaya po ng aming personal na opinion. Kami po ay nag-iimbestiga, nababatay sa batas, nababatay sa proseso, at nababatay po sa ating itinakdang mandato base po sa pagtatatag ng NBI.
So the short answer to my question is no. It doesn't.
No, it will not.
Okay. I mentioned Daily Tribune. You write editorials for the Daily Tribune, correct?
Tama po, long time ago po.
Long time ago. And in 2024, you wrote at least 3 editorials about VP Sara. Is that, can you recall?
Mari po, meron po akong mga sinulat tungkol kay Vice President.
I'm showing you not that one, the editorials, all right, from the Daily Tribune. And we have copies, hard copies that you can refer to. But it says here, Director Melvin Matibag, you confirm that it is you who authored these editorials?
Yes.
All right. Now, I'm showing you the first one entitled Inday Sara, the Bratinela, dated September 12, 2024. Do you confirm that you wrote this editorial?
That's correct in my opinion column.
All right. And you also wrote, the Bratinella is a flat spare tire, dated October 24, 2024. Do you confirm this?
Yes.
Kung napakabayas naman pala tapos gagawing NBI director. Ganyan pala siya. 2024. Talamak na nakawan dyan sa House of Representatives dyan. Talamak na nakawan dyan sa panahon na yan. 19th Congress.
Right.
2024.
And you also wrote, Bratinella, Sara, and her bad habits, dated November 7, 2024. Do you confirm this?
Yes.
And in these editorials, you shared your opinions against VP Sara. Is that correct?
Well, unang-una po, siguro dun sa title na Bratinella, that is not my original. In fact, kaya ko po nasulat yan, yan ang mismong naririnig ko nang kami magkakasama nila dating Pangulong Duterte nang tawag niya kay Inday sa Bratinella.
Alright, so my only question is, before you testified today, there were already instances in the past that you shared your public opinions against VP Sara.
Well, that is a opinion column.
Alright.
At meron po tayong mga pinagbabasihan dyan.
Okay, in fact, let me read one line from your editorial. It says there, as Inday Sara is being unmasked in the legislative inquiries and by her own mouth as an ill-bred Bratinella, her public trust crumbles. You confirm that you included this statement in your editorial?
Yan po yung nakasulat.
Alright, and despite this position, and the recent surveys show that VP Sara was even gained positive trust rating, as shown earlier, positive 57. You
Para
confirm?
kung oras yung defense na yan, ika nga tumataas yan habang yung sa prosecution, mayat maya. Wala akong kwenta yung mga taga-prosecution na yan. Kung hindi lang sila pagbibigyan itong si Chis Escudero dahil tinatakot siya ng ombudsman, wala akong mangyayari dyan.
From this?
Well, again, I'm saying na nung sinulat ko po yan, that is my opinion as an opinion writer.
Alright. Now, despite this positive trust rating by VP Sara, do you still maintain that, and I quote, her public trust crumbles?
Well, para sa akin po, na ako yung NBI director, palagay ko po hindi po material itong ating pinag-uusapan sapagkat
Naku
sabi
po,
ko nga,
yari
ang
dyan.
ating po pag-iimbestiga ay nababase sa batas, nababase sa ebidensya.
Hindi, paano nga kasi ikaw ang NBI director tapos dati kami kulong diyan kung ano-ano sinasabi mo kay VP Sara. Ngayon gusto mo yung kung ano man ang kalalabasan ng investigasyon nyo, ganun-ganun na lang paniwalaan sa bayan ng Pilipino. Di ba? Bias ka na eh. From the get-go, bias ka na ika nga. Di ba? Ano pang ano natin? Ano pang aasahan natin sa NBI? Di ba?
Prosesong nandoon na nang ako'y dumating po bilang NBI director.
Alright, one last question on this before I let this point go. So considering the positive trust rating of VP Sara, can one really say that she betrayed public trust?
Magkaiba po yan.
Speculative, Your Honor.
Can I get a ruling, Your Honor?
Witness is knowledgeable enough to answer. He can handle himself. Director Matibag, give me answer.
Magkaiba po yan. Again, I'm saying, and I'm sure marami rin po dito nakakaalam na umaasa sa mga survey, a survey is just a snapshot of what's happening. It doesn't necessarily follow na pagka yun ang lumabas ay yun na yung totoo. Pangalawa, pagka po ating pinagbasihan ng popularidad, ang ibig sabihin po ba nito, ang isang pinakakilala at popular na tao pwede nang gumawa ng krimen at hindi natin papapanagutin?
Your Honor, at this point, Your Honor, the defense is constrained to ask for a continuance, and we have our grounds therefore. Number one, Your Honor, the testimony of Director Patibag earlier consisted of a lot of new topics, and it is we believe that it is the right of the respondent to intelligently cross-examine him on those topics. Again, Your Honor, those topics are not incled in the articles of impeachment
Naku po,
and are
ano yan?
considered new. In fact, Your Honor, as earlier stated, we feel that these two topics are a violation of the respondent's right to be promptly and fully apprised of the exact charges against her. So we will need time, Your Honor, to go through those new materials and new points. Secondly, Your Honor, during direct examination, a 100-page document was introduced and allowed by this court, and that document is unsigned and unnotarized. And we feel like for us to intelligently cross-examine the witness on this document that he mentioned, we need that there's a need, we feel that there's a need for a continuance, Your Honor.
What does the lead prosecutor say?
With all due respect, Your Honor, we object to the motion for continuance of the defense. The defense already started and propounded a lot of cross-examination questions to the witness, and the witness is simply answering completely, accurately, the questions which are being raised and propounded to him. We do not understand, Your Honor, why they will move for continuance after already raising a lot of questions to the witness, Your Honor. We would like, Your Honor, the defense to finish the cross-examination today, and if the impeachment court will still allow, we will immediately proceed to redirect after the cross-examination, Your Honor, with all due respect to our honorable senator judges.
The objection of the lead prosecutor is noted. However, this is the first time that any counsel for the parties is asking for a continuance. The chair is inclined to grant it and will so grant it as well. Should the counsel for the prosecutors or the lead prosecutor or panel of prosecutors require it at some point in time in this trial or hearing. But let it not be the rule or let it not be a habit on the part of either counsel for the parties to do so, to ask for a continuance. But at this time, the chair will grant a continuance requested by the defense. And in the meantime, since it's only 5:55, with the indulgence of our senator judges, we may proceed to the interjections and interventions of the senator judges.
One last point, Your Honor, before the interjections.
Before recognizing the senator judges, yes, what is the pleasure of Attorney Vilon?
Your Honor, considering that the witness introduced, as I said, a lengthy document, can we ask for a copy of the Las Cañas material that he
The
provided?
chair already earlier ordered that, I believe. During the interregnum, the prosecutors are directed to kindly furnish the counsel for respondents with a copy of the, I believe, over an inch or little less than 2 inches of affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas. So ordered. Chair will now recognize, prior to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo earlier, Senator Judge Villanueva indicated his desire to interject or make interventions. Thereafter, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Thereafter, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros. You have 2 minutes, sir, and you may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Presiding Officer, before I ask some questions, I can see that my time is already running. Let me just ask a procedural inquiry, Mr. Presiding Officer, and respectfully, this representation seek the guidance of the court on a procedural matter. Because earlier today, I heard our witness who made mention several times that the investigation is still ongoing. It's a continuing investigation. May we know, Mr. Presiding Officer, in this particular aspect of the NBI's investigation that remains ongoing, just for the guidance of this representation, and I'm sure for the guidance of both parties, kung matatapos na po yung investigasyon o yung presentation of evidence dito po sa Article 4 at magkakaroon po ng significant development na maaari pong material sa ating pong proceedings, ano po ang tamang proseso para maipabatid at kung kinakailangan maiharap po ito sa impeachment court considering na isasara na po itong presentation of evidence sa Article 4.
Senator Judge Villanueva, sa rule, the court is a passive body. Hindi panghihimasukan ng husgado kung ano man ang pwede, balak o gustong gawin ng magkabilang partido, prosecution man o sa hanay ng respondent, kung mangyari man yun. And the court will not speculate with respect to that hypothetical situation should it arise, lest we be accused of prejudging or deciding certain matters for the parties that they should be the one deciding should that happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. And in fact, I would suggest na kung maaari ay i-consider because we feel that the suppletory application of the revised rules of court under Rule 6, most directly po doon sa Section 24, Rule 119 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure, provides, and I quote, at any time before finality of the judgment of conviction, the judge may motu proprio or upon motion with hearing in either case, reopen the proceedings to avoid a miscarriage of justice. Close quote. So just to put on record, Mr. Presiding Officer, na ito po yung magiging proper procedure. Marami pong salamat.
That is an option that the court may take, as the rule itself suggests. But at this juncture, the presiding officer would rather leave it to the parties, given that it is an adversarial proceeding, and the parties should know what they should do for the interest of their respective clients. You may proceed, sir, with your questions.
Thank you,
You have 2
thank you,
minutes.
thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Mr. President. Just one question to our witness, Director Matibag, for the benefit of the court and this representation. Maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag kung paano ini-evaluate po ng National Bureau of Investigation ang isang aligasyon na ang isang tao ay nag-utos o kumontrata ng iba upang magsagawa ng isang krimen? Bilang bahagi po ng inyong investigasyon, tinukoy po ba ninyo kung ang ganito pong aligasyon ay maaaring pumasok sa mga umiiral na probisyon ng ating revised penal code o iba pang special penal laws? Director Matibag, I'd like to ask this question because I believe, I don't know if you would agree with me, that the Bureau's role is to determine whether the facts may actually give or the facts may give rise to a criminal liability under our penal laws. Now, the constitutional function of this court, however, is different. We are not sitting as a criminal court to determine guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Rather, we are called upon to determine whether the respondents' alleged acts constitute impeachable offenses, including betrayal of public trust. So magkaiba po yung binabanggit natin na criminal liability at constitutional accountability. Hindi po lahat ng maaaring maging batayan ng impeachment ay kailangan tumutumbas sa isang krimen, sapagkat ang impeachment ay hindi naman po usapin lamang ng paglabag sa batas, kundi hindi paglabag sa tiwalang ipinagkakaloob ng taong bayan. Ano po masasabi niyo dito, Mr. Witness?
Your Honor, tama po yun. Doon po sa uling sinabi ninyo na hindi naman nangangahulugan kung may krimen na nangyari, ito ay impeachable offense. Pero ilagay po natin sa pangyayaring to, kaya naman po, yung pong investigasyon doon sa grave threat at doon po sa inciting to sedition, malinaw po ito na napapaloob sa revised penal code. E yun naman po pag-iimbestiga at paghahanap doon sa taong kinausap para pumatay, hindi po ito napapaloob sa revised penal code dahil yung pong pagpaplano ng pagpatay, hindi naman po pinaparusahan yan kung hindi nga nagawa. Subalit doon na po papasok yung sinasabi nga natin na meron pong sinasabi na sa impeachment tinitingnan po at para sa akin nga, yung betrayal of public trust, dito po papasok. Bakit po? Dahil meron po siyang sinumpang tungkulin. Doon po mismo sa kanyang oath of office bilang Vice President. Sinabi niya that protect and defend the Constitution, execute the laws, do justice to everyone, and consecrate yourself to protect the nation. Pero doon po sinabing execute the laws. Dito po natin nakikita, hindi po execute the laws, yung pag-usap ng papatay. That is to execute the President. Kaya doon po papasok yung magkaiba ng betrayal of public trust.
Naintindihan ko po yung binabanggit nyo, yung role ninyo na limitado doon sa criminal investigation at yung findings po ninyo, hindi po, again, I think binabanggit nyo nga po, hindi po ibig sabihin ay impeachable offense kaagad-agad.
Tama po.
And again, that's why I'm putting into the records na this is not a criminal proceeding but an impeachment na proceeding. Last but not the least, no, dun sa binanggit po ninyo, there is a difference between saying that an individual has not yet been identified and saying also that no such individual exists. So, ang una, nangangahulugan na nagpapatuloy pa po yung Bureau sa pagberipika at pagbabalidate ng impormasyong mayroon ito. Sa ikalawa naman po ay isang konklusyon na matapos ang isang investigasyon. Director Matibag, maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag yung kahalagahan ng distinction na ito sa point of view of the NBI sa inyong pag-iimbestiga?
Doon na po natin dihiwalay.
Before the witness answers, kindly wind up after that question, Senator Judge Joel. Witness may answer?
Yes.
Doon na po natin inihiwalay yung investigasyon na nangyari doon sa great threat at inciting to sedition. Pumasok na po tayo doon sa pag-iimbestiga kung saan hinahanap natin yung kinausap at bakit po tayo naniniwala na may kinausap sapagkat doon sa pronouncement po mismo ng Vice Presidente na may kinausap siya at pumayag. Ang naging basihan nga po dito yung aking pong testimonya kanina na yung 5-point field po na pinagbabasihan ng National Threat Assessment Center na ginagamit po ng Secret Service po ng Amerika.
Okay po. Siguro hilingin ko na lang, Mr. Presiding Officer at sa ating witness, kung matapos po yung inyong ongoing at sinasabi niyo nga pong continuing investigation, ay ma-inform lang din po ang korting ito. Maraming salamat, Your Honors, Mr. Presiding.
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi is recognized for his interjections and interventions. You have 2 minutes, sir, for your questions. You may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Witness, are you familiar with the case of Ronel Mas?
Opo, napanood ko po yan.
At that time, hindi pa kayo NBA director or not connected to NBA whatsoever. So, tell us briefly dito sa kaso ni Ronel Mas.
Sa pagkaalala ko po rito, itong si Ronel Mas ay isang guro na kung saan siya ay nagsabi na kung sino ang papatay sa dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ay papabayaan niya ng 50 million. At sa pagkakaalala ko po, ang National Bureau of Investigation rin po ang tumugis at tumuli sa kanya, particularly po ang aming pong opisina sa Region 1. At siya po ay kinasuhan po ng pagbabanta at itinuring po na ang threat niya isang malaking threat po. Hindi lamang sa dating Pangulo kundi po sa ating pong national security.
In other words, pinali siya ng case ng inciting to sedition. And he was arrested warrantless. It was a warrantless arrest, right?
Tama po.
Okay, so isang guro nagbanta sa dating Pangulo, agad-agad inaresto ng walang warat. Now, itong yung VP Sara, si Vice President Duterte, na nagbanta rin kay Pangulong Duterte at kay Pangulong Marcos. Anong difference ng dalawa?
Well, ang pagkakaiba po nila, itong si Rene Mas ay isang guro, si Vice President, isa naman pong Vice President, at siguro po ito ang naging konsiderasyon kung bakit hindi siya inaresto agad.
So, ibig sabihin ng NBI pala ay tumitingin sa tinatawag na special treatment.
I cannot
So, ibig sabihin pala para sa NBI. Kahit nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte, isang guro na nagsabi may patong sa ulo ng 50 million si dating Pangulong Duterte kung sino makapagpapatay sa kanya, agad-agad inaresto na walang warrant for arrest. And then ito naman si VP Sara, nasabi niyo, allegedly nagbigay ng death threat against President Marcos at hindi inaresto.
I cannot speak for the NBI at that time, Your Honor, sapagkat yung mga pangyayari po yan, wala naman ako sa NBI pa po. Subalit, ang maaari ko pong ibahagi sa inyo, ipamarapatin po ninyo, yun na nga po aking pakikipagtalastasan sa aming po mga foreign counterparts na aking din napag-aralan at sinasabi nila na sa kanilang jurisdiction, kung mayroong isang pagbabanta na ginawa ng Vice Presidente, ay maaaring agad na ikulong at matanggal kagad po sa pwesto. Pero again, respectfully, I cannot speak for the NBI noon po at saka yung pangyayari po doon po.
Okay, ano ibig sabihin po ni, para sa inyo, Mayor Baste, nung sinabi niya sa isang Rage Coalition gathering, isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin at ang ulo ni BBM or Bongbong Marcos. What does it mean to you?
Well, kagaya po ng aking naging testimonya, itrinato po namin ito na isang threat sa isang banta sa ating Pangulo that transcends also to a threat to our national security.
So is it the same as saying may patong sa ulo ang isang tao, like a reward, whoever can capture this person, dead or alive or something to that effect?
It could be that way or it could be in many ways, pero ang sa amin po, ang namin naging interpretasyon nga dyan, isinama po namin ito sa maraming banta sa seguridad ng ating Pangulo at sa seguridad po ng ating.
So again, kung tinuturing yung threat, itong salita na binitiwan ni Baste or Mayor Baste Duterte against President Bongbong Marcos, anong difference niyan doon sa binigyan naman ng threat ni yung teacher na si Ronel Mas kay dating Pangulong Duterte?
Yung pong naging banta ni Mayor Basti Duterte ay pinasok po natin sa mas maaba pang pagsusuri, kaya po isinama natin dito po doon sa ating continuing threat assessment po.
So was he not arrested? Tulad ng nangyari sa teacher na si Ronel Mas.
Ang warrantless arrest po kasi, kagaya na nangyari kay Ronel Mas, dahil naging warrantless of arrest, siya po ay na-dismiss ang kaso. So yun din po yung iniingatan namin na kung kami ay gagawa ng warrantless arrest, ay maaari pong ma-dismiss ang kaso. Ngayon po, kasama po yan sa case build-up namin na maaaring magdulot po ng pagpapail po ng nararapat po ng kaso.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Rizon Tiveros is recognized. You may proceed, ma'am, when you're ready and you have 2 minutes.
Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer. Mr. Witness, nung nakaraang hearing po, paulit-ulit na binabanggit ang pangalan ni Princess Maui. Sino po ba yung taong yan? Background po niya, profile po niya?
Sa pagkakalam ko, isa po siyang vlogger.
Ano pong background niya? Paano siya naging vlogger?
Well, base po doon sa patuloy na pag-monitor, siya po ay isang kritiko na madalas nag-vlog at nagpo-promote po ng yung pong tinatawag natin at alam naman na lahat na DDS po.
I see. And ano po yung bukod doon na vlogger siya doon sa panig na iyon? Meron pa bang ibang profile itong Princess Maui bilang vlogger?
Katunayan po, I was informed that she or he was invited to the NBI pero hindi po siya dumalo. At yan po ay kasama rin po sa patuloy na sinusubaybayan po ng ating pong Cybercrime Division po.
Alright, salamat po. Ngayon, nabanggit rin po yung Oplan Romanov. Sabi po ni Attorney Lotok, ang alam niya ay banta ito sa presidente at pamilya nila na nagmula kay Mayor Sebastian Duterte. Sa kabilang banda, ayon naman kay Princess Maui, ay banta daw po yan sa buhay ni Vice Presidente at pamilyang Duterte. Pareho po ba yang iniimbestigahan ng NBI?
Ang alam ko po, na-cover na po ng NBI noon yung investigasyon dun sa aligasyon na yung Oplan Romanov ay banta sa Vice Presidente dahil nagpadala nga po ng subpoena kay Princess Maui at kay Vice President. Subalit, fortunately, hindi po yata sila dumali dyan. Pero nung yan po aming sinusuri din, binabanggit niyo po na Romanov, I think that was the January 18, 2024 na pahayag po ni Mayor Baste Duterte na kung saan na sinabi niya, let me tell you this, Mr. Bongbong Marcos, hindi ko lang po man yung exact words, but I remember that before you go to sleep, remember the Romanovs and the Mussolinis and what happened to the Marcos family in 1986. Yun po yung nakita natin na isa na naglilink po dyan sa Romanov. Kaya recently, narinig ko rin po yung dating director na sinasabi niya ng Oplan Romanov, ay tunay na banta sa pamilya ng mga Marcoses at hindi po kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
So, base po sa investigasyon ng NBI, ang Oplan Romanov po ba ay banta nga sa buhay ng presidente o sa buhay ng vice-presidente?
Your Honor, yan po ay kasama pa rin sa aming tinutukoy po ngayon. Kaya po meron kaming task force, kasama po yan sa aming continuing na surveillance at active investigation po.
Alright. May actionable intelligence po ba ang NBI na posibleng patuloy pa rin ang panganib sa buhay ng presidente dun sa linyang iyon ng inyong investigasyon?
Tama po yan. Sapagkat pinanggit ko nga po kanina yung ginagamit sa National Threat Assessment Center po ng Secret Service ng Amerika, pumapasok po doon yung mga observation yan. At katunayan po, lalo pang lumawig o lumawak yung mga banta sa presidente, namin pong namomonitor. Pati po mga ordinaryong tao ngayon, ay napakadali po na magbigay ng banta. Para sa amin po, hindi lang naman po yung banta sa ating Pangulo, kami binabantayan, kundi yung pong bantayan natin ang kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan at isiguraduhin natin na ang democratic process po ay umiiral sa atin base sa ating pong konstitusyon po.
At sa kabilang banda naman po, may actionable intelligence din po ba ang NBI na may totoong banta sa buhay naman ng vice-presidente?
Sa ngayon po, hindi po namin tinitingnan kung totoo may actionable intel. Pero, base po sa aming mandato, kasama po sa mandato namin na proteksyonan po ang seguridad ng Pangulo, ng Vice-Presidente, ng Senate President, ng Speaker of the House at Chief Justice. Kaya kung wala man pong task force, tuloy-tuloy naman po ang aming pong pagpamonitor dito.
Pero sa ngayon, kung isusuma po natin, may actionable intelligence na may patuloy na panganib sa buhay ng presidente, pero wala pang actionable intelligence na may banta din naman sa buhay ng vice-presidente.
Malinaw po yun sapagkat lumabas lang naman po yun doon sa sinasabi nitong si Princess Maui.
Salamat po, Mr. Witness. Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rizon Tiveros. Next to interject and make his interventions will be our Senate President, Sherwin Gatchalian. He is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Tama po ba, Director Matibag, na after 1 year and 8 months, wala pang nakikita ang NBI na nakontratang papatay?
Wala po pong specific na personalidad.
Wala pang specific na nakikita. Pero kanina narinig ko sa inyong testimonya na may sinabi kayong hindi banta, kundi isang plano talaga. So may plano.
Yun po ang base sa mismong pahayag ng ating pong Vice-Presidente na siya ay may kinausap at yung kinausap niya ay pumayag para patayin po ang mga taong nabanggit. Para sa akin po, this is actually a public confession na dahil sa sinabi niya nito, nalagay po sa alanganin hindi lamang po ang seguridad ng Presidente kundi po ang ating pambansang seguridad.
Sino ang kaplano niya? Kung magpaplano, obviously may kasama siya sa pagpaplano. Sino na ang natukoy ng NBI na kasama sa pagpaplano?
Yan na po yung binabanggit namin na persons of interest based on the open source intel and the human intel po na ibinabato po sa amin, na yan po ay reported po sa atin ng ating pong task force na itinayo po.
Itong persons of interest kasama sa pagpaplano at inamin sa inyo na mayroong pagpaplanong ginagawa para pumatay.
Meron po silang impormasyon na magtuturo po dito sa pagpaplano.
Hindi sila yung kasama sa pagpaplanong pumatay.
Sa ngayon po,
Tuturo lang sila.
doon po sa iba persons of interest, meron po kami kinukonsidera doon na maaaring siya po ang kausap mismo ng
Yan
vice
anong ebidensya ang magpapatunay na kasama siya sa pagpaplano o kaya nang ituro yung pagpaplano?
Yan po ang ating kukunin na impormasyon pa sa ating pong mga persons of interest, ating pong sinusurveillance. Katunayan po as we speak, tuloy-tuloy po yung ating pakikipag-usap. Pati po doon sa mga malalapit sa taong aking pong binabanggit.
So tuloy-tuloy pa ngayon ang inyong investigation.
Tama po.
Ngayon nakita ko na bumuo kayo ng task force. No? And task force, temporary in nature lang yan, di ba? Kailan matatapos ang inyong investigasyon? Dahil nga nasabi ko 1 year and 8 months na ito, ngayon may bagong task force. So kailan matatapos itong investigation?
Ito po ay matatapos finally pag atin pong na-locate specifically ang taong kausap ng Vice Presidente at yun naman pong task force bukod po sa seguridad ng Presidente, we are also guarding po na walang gulo, na yung pong mga destabilization ay atin din po
Pero
mababayan.
kailan matatapos yung investigation para matukoy kung sino yung nakontrata?
Only in the time po na atin po matukoy na finally yung ating pong...
Kailan ngayon? Do you have a time frame?
I cannot-
Base doon sa pag-uusap nyo dito sa persons of interest nyo, kailan? Kasi like I said, no, November of 2024 to, may bagong task force ngayon. But in your opinion, no, gusto ko kasi malaman, malapit na ba o malayo pa?
I cannot give the exact time but the task force was established on April 16 and it's doing great progress po. So sa palagay ko po, malapit na rin natin itong mahanap itong taong ating po.
Can you give me an explanation ng yung great, quote-unquote, great progress?
Marami pong report na pumasok po sa atin at may mga pangalan po talaga na na-identify natin pong pinupuntahan po.
And can you give me a time frame kung within 3 months, 6 months, matutukoy nyo na itong kakontrata?
As
Can
we
you
look
give me a
at
time frame? An indicative time frame?
as we go on to the progress, probably po within the 3 to 6 months ay magkakaroon po tayo.
Magkakaroon
Mas malinaw po na data tungkol po dito.
But in 3 to 6 months, matutukoy na natin yung kakontrata.
Yun po ang ating inaasahan.
Okay. In the meantime, nasabi nyo kanina na mayroong kinetic force. No? Ito, ina-assume ko na may nai-impluwensyahan. Diba? Sino na ho ang nakausap nyo na na-impluwensyahan tungkol dito sa mga sinasabi ng Vice President at yung iba pa?
May mga ilan na po kaming pinuntahan at katunayan, may ilan na po kaming sinampahan na rin ng mga kaso at yung po mga nagbanta through social media ay atin na rin pong nakausap. At yung iba naman po ay sa ngayon ay kasalukuyang humaharap po sa investigasyon po.
So, last question. So itong dahil sa kanilang pananalita, nagkaroon ng kinetic force at na-influensyahan ito. At base sa inyong, paano nyo nasabi na influensyahan itong mga taong ito?
Kagaya po nung aming mga nakausap, malinaw din po that they're always targeting the head of the president. May correlate po natin doon sa statement mismo ng mayor at ng ating pong vice presidente po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Will Senator Judge Allen make an interjection or will he make a manifestation regarding another matter? Then the presiding officer will first recognize Senator Judge Aquino for his interjections and interventions. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Very quickly lang, Director Matibag. Kapag sinasabi kasing bukas pa ang isang investigasyon, posibleng meron, posibleng wala, di ba? Pero ito po, just one question. Sa inyo pong professional assessment, anong porsyento, what percentage is the probability na meron ngang nakausap na tao ang Vice Presidente para gawin yung mga pagpatay sa inyo pong assessment? Hindi nyo pa po masasabi, may kailangan pa kayong ilang buwan, pero sa inyong assessment po ba, anong porsyento po na meron talagang nakausap ang Vice President?
Base po mismo sa pahayag ng vice presidente, nakasisiguro po na merong kinausap.
Anong percentage po? 70%?
100% po sapagkat sila mismo ang nagsabi ng kanyang plano na siya ay may kinausap ng papatay at pumayag yung papatay sa kanilang pag-uusap.
Okay, maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Senator Judge Cayetano Allen is recognized for his interjections.
Before that, on the same point of Senator Bam, may I just manifest that I have submitted, Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, written continuing objection to the ruling on the Presiding Officer dated 20 July 2026 on the subpoena. But according to the Journal Service, it will not be included in the journal. May I move that it be included in the records? In the records, whatever is more convenient for everyone.
It will definitely be in the record and transcript, Your Honor. We will see what we can do about the journal. Can we get back to you?
Yes.
Because there's a technical difficulty. I
We were
believe.
just under the impression na until today. That's why hinabol ko ng 531, then nilagay ko na lang possible supplemental. But whatever is more convenient for the
Then
purpose of court.
the chair will entertain a motion to reconsider the approval of the journal earlier so that we can include this in the journal, then approve it. If you would like to make that motion, Your Honor.
Well, may I move that we reconsider approval of journal just so that we can include what we agreed on yesterday, which is the written objection.
There is a motion to reconsider the approval of the journal of yesterday, July 20, 2026, in order to include as part of the journal the written manifestation of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano, as we have done so with respect to Senator Judges Villanueva, Marcos, Go, Villar Camille, and Legarda. Absent any objections, the motion is approved. Journal is reconsidered, and the insertion of the manifestation of the Honorable Cayetano is so included, so ordered.
Thank you, dear colleagues.
Would you like to complete the process and move for the approval of the journal now?
Move the
Senator Judge.
approval with the amendment, not an insertion.
The journal is approved as amended by inserting the manifestation of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the same is approved. Sans the reading of the same.
Mr. Presiding Officer, just
Yes,
one
what is the
point.
pleasure
Just
of,
to make a
Senator
manifestation.
Judge Villanueva?
Yes, Mr. President. I just wanted to put on record that this representation is not objecting to the ruling of the chair yesterday, and that the only reason why I wanted to put into the records my manifestation with regard to the ruling of the chair. Just to put on record. Thank you.
Duly noted. Senator Judge Cayetano may proceed with his interjections. He has 2 minutes. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness, Director Attorney Matibag, schoolmate.
Good afternoon, sir, Your Honor.
Yeah, just on that point ni Senator Bam, I understand as a law enforcer, as an investigator, you have to take all threats seriously. I'll ask you the same questions I asked the two NBI officers, and I do understand they were not under your supervision during that time dahil dun pa sila kay Director Santiago. No? I won't ask all the questions, but you did review the whole video or just the portions relevant to the statement of the Vice President na no joke, yung November 23.
Your Honor, napanood ko po yung video, but you're correct, I focus mainly on the issue that is being
So simple question, paano naging process kung anong parts ng video at ng statement niya ang paniniwalaan mo or ng task force? So it's not personal. I mean, if you were in the task force or as you said, you created the task force now at duty nyo yung safety ng high government officials, anong process nyo kung anong parts ng video ang paniniwalaan nyo at hindi? Ng statements niya, what I meant.
Well, ang ginawa po natin dyan, doon po mismo sa konteksto ng kanyang sinabi na humanap siya ng papatay at inutos niya na papatayin ang tatlong individual at yun po ay pumayag yung papatay at sinabi pa niya no joke, doon pa lamang po ay napin na pong nakita yung pong ating hinahanap po ng mga pwede niyang pananagutan po sa batas.
Well, as an appointee of this government, as a lawyer, as an NBI director, I see your point and I get that. But what I meant is that before that statement, sabi kasi niya, kung papatayin ako, I mean, the record will bear out naman yung eksaktong sinabi niya. No? So this is my paraphrase. But ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinabi niya, kung papatayin ako, ito yung tatlong papatayin mo. And ang impression ko, pinagbibintangan niya yung tatlo na may plot against her. So yun ang tanong ko dun sa two previous NBI directors. If you're gonna believe that she contracted or talked to, may kausap, no? Siya, if you're gonna believe that may kausap siya at papapatay yung tatlo, will you not believe the previous nung sinabi niyang kung ako naman ang papatayin?
Hindi po ganoon, sapagkat ang tinignan lang nga po natin ay yung kanyang mismong pagbabanta. At sa amin po sa ngayon, yung aking pong task force na nag-iimbestiga, ay malinaw po nang tinitingnan kung ano na ang nangyari dahil doon sa pagbabanta. At sinasabi nga po namin, dahil po doon sa pagbabanta, ito po ay umabot na, doon na po sa level na ang national security nataya na po, na kompromiso na. Sapagkat marami na pong lumalabas, tuloy-tuloy na pagbabanta. So doon na po natin ito tinitingnan.
In the same video, she mentioned massive corruption. But wala pa dyan kasi yung mayab kayo speech at flood control investigation. So, same question, Director. Naintindihan ko, yun yung pinaniwalaan nyo. May kausap siya, no joke. Pero ang question ko, paano yung proseso nyo or anong naging thinking nyo na etong papapatayin yung presidente, pinaniniwalaan ko, pero etong siya ang papatayin, hindi ko paniniwalaan, at etong graft and corruption, hindi ko rin paniniwalaan. What's the process there?
Well, ang proseso po dyan, ay tinignan naman natin, doon po sa pagbabanta niya, kung sa grade threat po yung pag-uusapan natin, alam naman po natin na yung threat na yan is absolute dahil nandoon naman po yung elemento eh. Doon naman po sa sinasabi namin na tuloy-tuloy na pag-iimbestiga dahil ito nga po ay umabot na sa level na naapektuhan ng national security. We take into context yung mismong sinabi niya na meron siyang kinausap at yung kanyang kinausap ay pumayag. Yung po kanyang sinasabi na kung papatayin ako, that is supposed to be na statement niya sa aming pong pananaw just to cover yung kanyang pagsasabi na siya may kinausap para patayin ang ating Pangulo.
Okay, I won't argue with you in yung proseso nyo, but in the meantime, there were 3 statements, massive corruption, kung papatayin siya, patayin. So, focusing dun sa patayin yung tatlo kung papatayin siya, in the meantime, tumutuo yung yung massive corruption lumabas afterwards, di ba? So, just one other point, at the beginning of the prosecution's questions to you, and I think the defense had a question about what can you investigate. Can you repeat your answer? As an NBI, as the NBI director and the NBI can investigate, did you say all crimes or yung mga
Lahat po ng mga pumapasok sa amin na mga krimen ay amin pong pwedeng imbestigahan, mutu proprio. Ganon din po yung mga krimen na meron pong nagreklamo na araw-araw na may pupunta sa aming tanggapan para magreklamo. Ito po yung aming inimbestigahan. At meron din pong mga inimbestigahan kami na inutos po ng Department of Justice. And by the very nature, under the Constitution po ng Office of the Ombudsman, they can delegate the National Bureau of Investigation.
So as a general rule, you can investigate any crime motu proprio.
More than the investigation of the crime is also the protection of our nationals. Saka po siyempre, siguraduhin na promote ang ating demokrasya, hindi nakukompromiso.
Yes, but sa investigation lang. So you can investigate any crime.
Tama po.
Yeah. Isn't that against the Republic Act 10867? the statute that gives you power, the act reorganizing and modernizing the National Bureau of Investigation. Sabi dito sa inyong Section 4, the NBI shall have the following powers and functions. Undertake and investigate the detection of crimes and offenses enumerated under Section 5. Section 5, may enumeration, human trafficking cases in all airports, extrajudicial, extralegal killings committed by state security forces against media practitioners' activities, killings of justices and judges, violation of 100175, otherwise known Cyber Crime Act, Prevention Act, cases against Interagency Graft Coordinating Council, and violations of the Anti-Dummy Law. Tapos, cases involving threats, security assaults against persons of the President, Vice President, Senate President, Speaker of the House, Chief Justices. Walang congressmen, senators, unlike judges lahat. Transnational crimes pursuant to existing international agreements, identification of dead victims in case of mass fatalities, incidents caused by natural disaster, and violation of commercial, economic, financial, white-collar crimes nakadyan in law. So, exclusive yung enumeration. Then, provided, however, if that the President or Secretary of Justice may direct the NBI to undertake investigation of any crime when public interest so requires. So hindi ba limited ang pwede niyong imbestigahan except that ang DOJ at President ang pwede mag-atas? That's my last question.
Yes, kindly wind up.
Well,
Yes, may answer.
Yes, yung pong ating listahan na yan, tama po, nandiyan dyan. Subalit, hindi naman po sinasabi na nalilimita dyan ang aming pong pag-imbestiga sapagkat malino po ang mandato ng NBI that we are the primary investigating body. Yun lamang nga po, merong mga kaso, kung ito po ay bumagsak na sa jurisdiction halimbawa ng PNP na kanilang iniimbestigahan, we can still help and coordinate at the same way na kung kami po ay nag-iimbestiga at ang PNP pwede rin pong tumulong
Well,
po sa amin.
Director, if that's your interpretation, that goes against what they taught us in law school, na pag exclusive yung enumeration you cannot add. And at the end of the enumeration of Section 5, nakalagay nga dito, however, the President and the Secretary of Justice may direct you to undertake investigations of any crime. Why do they have to say any crime if you can do it any crime, if you can investigate any crime after all? It seems that you're expanding your jurisdiction by yourself.
Well, we've been doing po yan sapagkat we have also our primary role to make sure that law and order is being promoted through the NBI din po.
Senator Cayetano can avail of the second round later or tomorrow, since I believe Attorney Matibag, Director Matibag, forgive me, will still be here for the continuation of cross. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, thereafter, Senator Judge Pangilinan. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, you have, I believe, one question, right?
Actually, two questions, Your Honor.
You may proceed, sir. You have 2 minutes, actually.
Ako ni-stress na ako kanina, 5 minuto ako. But anyway, going back to Ronald Mas, what was the justification of the NBI back then when Mr. Ronald Mas was arrested without warrant?
Well, they consider po that the threat is live and alam nyo nga po yung sinasabi na lahat po ng threat ay hindi po, ito po siniseryoso.
So may order sa na-arrest yung si
I don't have that recollection, hindi ko pa lang, but the arrest was made by the regional office po of Region 1 po.
So would you admit now na illegal yung ginawa ng NBI noon na pag-aresto kay Ronald Mas na walang warrant?
Well, si Ronald Mas po was released precisely the reason why meron pong lapses po to sa procedure.
Okay, would you also consider na the fact na merong ginawang pagbabanta si Baste Duterte na similar dito kay Ronald Mas na dapat umaksyon din yung NBI tulad ng pag-aksyon nila sa isang guro?
Kaya katunayan yan nga po yung aking binabanggit na tuloy-tuloy po investigation sapagkat alam niyo po yung warrantless arrest, lesson nga po kay Ronald Mas yan na dapat po kasi immediate po yung pong pag-aresto. Pag yan po ay lumipas na, hindi na po tayo pwedeng mag-aresto under the law sapagkat papasok po ito sa illegal arrest po.
Last na lamang. So, make a comparison ngayon. Bakit yung isang guro na nagbanta kay Dati Pangulong Duterte agad inaresto at bakit itong isang Vice President na nagbanta kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos hindi naresto ng NBI?
I can only second guess po na maaaring may pagkakaiba po ng proseso o tinitingnan po ang administrasyon ng panahon na yun at ng panahon po ngayon.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Pangilinan is recognized. You may proceed with your intervention, sir. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Magandang gabi, Ginoong Direktor. Kanina tinatanong sa inyo, no, yung usapin ng trust rating. Na mas mataas yung trust rating ng Vice President kaysa sa Presidente. Bilang abogado, tinanong sa iyo ito kanina, may kinalaman ba ang approval sa trust? Kung mas mataas ang trust rating, ibig sabihin wala nang betrayal of the public trust.
Well, wala po. Sapagkat sabi ko nga, sa akin pong pananaw, sa akin din pong kaunting eksperyensya bilang isang political advisor din po, yung ating po mga survey is only a snapshot na mga pwedeng nangyayari. Alam naman po natin, ang tinatanong dyan, ilan lang o magpapipili ng lugar kung saan po gagawin yung survey, hindi po natin pwede itong maging basihan sa pag-imbestiga sapagkat pagka ganyan po yung ating ginawa, magkakaroon po tayo ng problema sapagkat ang mangyayari sa atin dyan, yung tinitingnan pala natin ay yung numero. At without accusing anyone, alam naman natin there are surveys that can be manipulated po.
No, but having said that, kaya ako lang tinanong yun kasi baka yung mga nakikinig natin mga kababayan ay malito dahil hindi ba tamang sabihin na iba yung trust rating, iba yung betrayal of the public trust.
Tama po.
Tama?
Yung trust rating po ay base sa numero dahil sa survey, yung betrayal of public trust, malinaw naman po yan na nakasaad sa konstitusyon na ito ay isang basihan ng impeachment. At saan po pumapasok ang betrayal of public trust? Pag meron ka pong ginawa na pag-violate, not necessarily criminal, hindi kailangan ng conviction, kundi sinasabi po, pag tinignan natin yung discussion po ng ating constitutional committee ng ginawa yan, binabanggit nga po dyan yung betrayal of public trust, yung hindi mo pagtupad sa yung oath of office, that will qualify as a betrayal of public
In
trust.
other words, negative yung trust rating mo o 100% yung trust rating mo, base sa batas, base sa konstitusyon, pwede kang ma-convict. Whether negative or positive trust rating, pwede ka pa rin ma-convict o ma-acquit. Depende sa ebidensya sa usapin ng betrayal of the public trust.
Tama po. Wala pong kinalaman ang survey on the trust rating kundi kung ano po ang ebidensya na ipinasok po sa ating pong impeachment court.
Maraming salamat.
Senator Judge Pia Cayetano is recognized for her interjections and interventions. You may proceed, ma'am, when you are ready, and you have 2 minutes.
For the prosecution, do you consider Las Canas an important witness for you, for the prosecution?
With all due respect, Your Honor, the purpose of the testimony is to present what transpired during the investigation of the Special Task Force. As to whether or not what probative value it holds, it is not part actually of the decision of the prosecution, as what we are intending to do here is to present only what happened during the investigation of the NBI, Your Honor.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the rules of evidence are very clear. You either present a witness who provides your testimony or you present a document. And in terms of documents, Rule 132, Section 19 says there are 2 classes of documents, public documents and private documents. Included in public documents are documents acknowledged before a notary public. Yung pinakitang document is not acknowledged by a notary public. Pwede naman din ang private documents, that's the other class. If it can be shown and authenticated in any of the following manner. The person saw the document executed or written. Nakita ba ng witness mo na sinulat yon? Nakita ba niya?
Your Honor, we can...
No, please answer my question.
No, Your Honor.
Oh, the next manner of authenticating by evidence of the genuineness of the signature or handwriting of the maker. The defense said ni walang original signature doon. Do you disagree with that?
We don't, Your Honor.
Okay, and the third, by other evidence showing its due execution and authenticity. Did you provide?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so simple lang, Mr. Presiding Officer. They're trying to prove something by showing a document that any law student, even yung mga kababayan natin na nakikinig na ngayon na ang dami ng alam sa procedure, will tell you na hindi acceptable yon. And with all due respect, katulad din nung kahapon na humingi ako ng payo sa inyo, again, I will not name names, we had a discussion in caucus na you cannot unsee what you see. You cannot unhear what you hear. So pinalabas yun. Wala akong problema na palabasin yun, pero do your job and present the proper witness and the proper documentation to do that. Do your job. I'm addressing this, Mr. Presiding Officer, to us as a body. Kasi hindi tama yun. Magdidesisyon tayo, you warn us, pero pinabayaan natin na makita yun. Minamarkahan pa, submarkings. What's the purpose of all that?
May I respond, Your Honor?
Not really.
I don't believe
because
that was the
I already asked you the questions and you had a chance to respond. Yes.
There was no question posed, sir. I was
There's none, yes.
telling the lead prosecutor.
I move to my next point, Mr. Presiding Officer. Our jurisprudence is very clear, no? A witness must be competent and credible. Di ko na babasahin lahat yung jurisprudence natin dyan dahil kompleto na yung record natin dyan. But there is also also included in our rules, Rule 132 on the rules of evidence, and I'll read it. A witness may be impeached by the party against whom he or she was called by contradictory evidence, by evidence that his or her general reputation for truth, honesty, or integrity is bad. Or by evidence that he or she has made at other times statements inconsistent with his or her present testimony. So this is the rules, no? Siguro we can, well, I'm reading the rules, so we can take notice of this, that this is what our rules say, and I don't think anyone will contradict that. Again, there are lots of cases supporting this. So, just want to point out, Mr. President, that, just looking for my notes. Sorry, with the indulgences of the body, I'm just looking for my notes because I want to be accurate in my the next statement that I'm going to read into the record.
If the lady cannot locate it, she may avail of her time again tomorrow since Director Matibag and the counsel for the parties will
Pwede
be
naman, but if you give me a few more seconds, I might be able to dispose of this issue, Mr. Presiding Officer. Okay, I won't delay I can paraphrase it, but I think it would be best if I look at the record, so I will just avail.
The presiding officer will give the lady first crack at interventions by a senator judge tomorrow after the cross-examination of the counsel for respondent tomorrow. Since Director Matibag will be here again tomorrow for the continuation of the cross-examination by counsel for respondent, the interjections and interventions of the other senator judges may proceed. Again, after the cross-examination, redirect and recross if any. So the senator judges have time until tomorrow. Unless there are other matters that the counsel for the parties would want to discuss,
One
the
last-
court will wind down with some administrative matters.
One
Yes,
last
counsel for
question.
respondent.
Your Honor, aside from the Las Cañas document, we would also like to request a copy of the AO number 11, just for reference, Your Honor, to be used as AO number 11.
The prosecutor is directed to furnish within the day
After the proceedings.
within the day after the proceedings a copy of AO number 11 signed by Director Matibag, dated, if I'm not mistaken, April 16, 2026. Any other points you want to raise, lead prosecutor?
Your Honor, it appears that there is standing subpoena for
I will rule on that in a bit.
for
I will
Ms.
rule on that in a
Marivic
bit.
Pareja.
I will rule against who?
Ms. Marivic Pareja of Legislative Archive. We manifested yesterday, Your Honor, that we have yet to determine when we will be presenting this witness.
Yes, we will act on these at the proper time. This will be part of the chair's ruling before we adjourn.
May I inquire, Your Honor, if tomorrow we will be able to conclude the testimony of witness Director Matibag, whether or not we will be proceeding to present the first witness for confidential fund, Your Honor.
The court will address that in a bit before we adjourn, counsel. Any other points, counsel for the respondent?
No more, Your Honor.
Court will now dispose of some administrative matters. We are in receipt of a request for subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Ms. Marivic Pareja, as well as subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Mr. Roderick C. Wamil and Ms. Eileen May Del Ocampo, both from the Commission on Audit. The chair, the presiding officer, defers action on these requests for subpoena and will act on them at the proper time and in due time. In regard to the subpoena ad testificandum and dosistecum issued to Ms. Violeta Constantino and Ms. Nenita Camposano, the chair in the meantime recalls the subpoenas issued to them without prejudice to reissuing the subpoena at a later time for a later date. Para po sa kaalaman, ang dalawang sinampina ng Senadong ito bilang impeachment court na si Ginang o Binibining Violeta Constantino, Ginang o Binibining Nenita Camposano, hindi niyo po kailangan magpunta dito sa hukuman bukas. Binabawi pong pansamantala ng hukumang ito ang subpoena in-issue para sa inyo at mag-i-issue na lamang po kami ng panibagong subpoena kung kailan po kayo kinakailangan magpunta o magtungo dito sa impeachment court sa Senado. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Zubiri?
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Just want to ask a question. You are withdrawing the subpoena because you feel that we might not take them up tomorrow. Is that
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
correct? Haba pa ba to? Kay witness Matibag? We cannot take it up tomorrow.
I would think so. That was pursuant to a discussion with both counsel for the parties earlier.
So
Senator
we're
Judge
looking at
Zubiri.
taking up that article on Monday.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Also, in regard to the trial, the senator judges
SONA,
agreed.
Tuesday pala po.
I'm sorry.
Tuesday, sorry. Monday is the SONA. So
I will,
Tuesday.
I will discuss that too, Senator Judge Zubiri. During caucus, the senator judges agreed for next week. There will be no trial on Monday, given that it's the State of the Nation of the President. There will be no trial on Tuesday to afford the minority the opportunity to prepare and deliver their contra sona, which is a tradition in relation to the State of the Nation address by the President. So our next trial date, for your information, which we will clarify on Wednesday, tomorrow, will be on July 29. Now, on July 29, again, as agreed in caucus by the senators and the senator judges, the new time of the trial will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the session of the Senate will be on or at 4 p.m. So to repeat, no trial on July 27, Monday. No trial on July 28, that's a Tuesday. On Wednesday, our trial will resume July 29 at 10 a.m. up to 3 p.m. with a break, short break for lunch, snacks, or the call of nature for anyone. Henceforth, after that week in August, we will be conducting the trial from Monday to Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Counsel for the parties are asked to take note. So, to avoid confusion, Director Matibag, we expect you to come back and be here again tomorrow, not at 10 but at 2 p.m. To continue with your testimony via the cross-examination, redirect or recross of the counsel for the parties, and questions from the senator judges. Without issuing a subpoena, Director Matibag, do we get your commitment to be here tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor, gladly.
Thank you very much. There being no other matters to be taken up and no other business to take up, the trial is hereby adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, July 23. 22 at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.